Hello everybody, today is Thursday, September the 5th, and this is our outlook on the altcoins for the next short while. My name is Doug, and I appreciate you guys being here. In the next 15 minutes, I'm going to cover some information on the alts, and then I'll be here for the live chat. So together we'll look at the big 6 altcoins and we'll compare them against our big 4 indicators across the time frames. Then we're going to look at Bitcoin dominance, and we're going to finish with an overview of the Patreon altcoin market watch spreadsheet. When this is finished, I'll take requests for technical analysis on any of the coins that you want. Now, to make the most of this live stream, I recommend that you head over to the website. There's a link in the description down below, and put in your email address. I will send you a 1-hour webinar with an overview of the complete trading system that we talk about here. It's an ideal starting point for beginning traders, and it's a great refresher for anyone who is a mid-level trader who is looking to improve. There's no catch. The free stuff and the Discord chat and this live stream are really all you need. I give it away because beginners really need it. And because I offer deeper services to people who are looking for more help to develop the personal daily habits that are really required for full success in trading. You know, as I was getting ready for the live stream here today, I was thinking about why are people watching this video, and what is it that I can provide that is going to make you come back every single day to watch this. So I want to make this worth your while, and I want to provide a format every day that is worth you subscribing and coming back for. And so if there's anything that you would like to see added or taken away from, be sure to leave a comment in the description down below or in the chat right now. So what we're looking at now is the price of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Ripple. We can see that Bitcoin has been moving up and everything else has just been hammered down. We'll just jump over to take a look at Bitcoin dominance. From April the 1st all the way up until now, it's been hell for the alts. They've been going through new lows and new lows and new lows. In our spreadsheet, we can track that where it goes from red, goes orange, red, neutral, orange, red, neutral, orange. Now it's orange and red in our spreadsheet as this is going higher. So we'll take a look at our big 6 altcoins, and then we'll come back to this to finish it up. So every day I want to go over the big 6 coins that are traded on BitMEX to start off with. If you're looking for deeper information, then you can go back to the website and you can see that we have some great details for our crypto trading alerts package if you're a do-it-yourselfer. Or if you want to take our guided lessons, right now we have some spaces left open in our 3 weeks to mastery trading course. It's a very limited enrollment available there. If you want to practice this stuff and get good at it before the bull market actually comes in, this is the time to get ready. Now, let me continue on here. We're looking at ADA on the 4-hour time frame. We can see it's making a double bottom, which is great that it's not failing to new lows. At least we are in a double bottom and not heading down to new lows. I'm going to quickly go over to EOS. We see that this is making new lows, and according to our trading plan, this is a like no touch zone. There's no buy low and sell high here yet. We don't know if this is turning around. It's in a downtrend. In fact, we had sell signals all the way down here that we could have been taking active sell signals on the fail of this 1, 2, 3 bottom. But for my own part, because we're at historical lows, I don't want to go short. And so I'm not going to go short. Even if this is giving a short sell signal, I'm going to stay flat, and I'm just going to keep watching for these bottom formations. And I'll talk more about the capitulation lows and how we're going to identify them in a second. But really, this is how to identify them. This is what they look like on the way down to the capitulation. And we could be going down further yet. These things still have lots of value. 615,000 Satoshi, you know, that could still go down way more. Who knows? I'll talk about that in a second. In TRX is also going down to new lows. So this is all the time I need to trade this coin. That's it. I look at that and I'm finished. I don't have to look at this anymore. I just go, oh, fail. Nothing for me to do here. And since I'm waiting for like the exponential moving average to cross over on the 4-hour time frame, I can estimate that I have a week or 2 weeks of time for this to create a bottom formation that's going to make this exponential moving average cross over. unless we have, and even if we have, the actual capitulation pattern, which I'll draw out now. And of course, this isn't written in stone. It could be a different way, but in general, the rule of thumb is the capitulation low goes down like a parabolic move. It has the straight at the bottom. And because it is capitulation and it's people giving up with great emotion, but it's not actually the fundamentals of the project, there are buyers. As soon as the sellers stop dumping, there are buyers who rush in and grab this great value stuff, and a whole bunch of FOMO traders that jump in because it's changing directions. And then we see it do something like this as everybody's wondering what's going to happen. Is it going to continue going lower? Is this a bottom formation? And this is when we're going to start really paying attention. And what we're going to watch for at this time is the RSI to be diverging. We're going to watch for the MACD to be doing a crossover. And we're going to watch for the Ichimoku cloud to start to be fighting in the middle range where this gets into the Ichimoku cloud. It should be way below it as we're going down. As this gets into the Ichimoku cloud onto the 5-minute and the 15-minute time frame, and even into the 30-minute time frame, it's going to confirm all of these things at the same time as it's breaking out. And that's what we're going to watch for. It's going to be 2 weeks away from now, I'm thinking. There may be, of course, opportunity in between there, but it's the kind of stuff that I don't want to jump into. I want my trading system to filter that crap out. And then I only have to pay attention when it matures and it's showing me that it's changing directions and it's not just a wave up the beach, but you know my saying, I want to be on when the tide is changing directions. And we can actually, and then I want to put my nitro on when we get this parallel channel and it comes back to the bottom of the channel and gives me a 1, 2, 3 bottom. There's my nitro moment. So that's what we're looking for in the alts. Now I'm going to go to the September Patreon bull market watch spreadsheet, and it's not much of a bull market, but the great thing about this spreadsheet is it really confirms well with the Bitcoin dominance. As Bitcoin dominance is rising, so is our bearishness index. It really matches carefully, matches well. The one thing that this shows us that the Bitcoin dominance doesn't show us is this data here, where we can see that there are 20 markets that were in alert status here in this time frame. It doesn't have the date stuck onto it, but it's within the last 2 months. So this was July. We had these 16 markets in Poloniex that came up into alert status, then faded back. And then we had a row of 20 markets again came up into alert status, and then they faded back. This filters out which coins are probably going to be the first movers that we're going to want to have the biggest positions in and be most ready for them to turn around. We can see a similar thing in the data here on Binance, where we had 22 markets up into the alert status and they came back down. Then we had 74 markets in the alert status and they came back down. So this is already giving us a way to pre-filter out which are the markets that showed us the most promise setting up. Those are the ones that we're going to be doing the most analysis on the charts and be most prepared with for all of our patron subscribers. And if you want access to this spreadsheet so that you can follow along and have us do the work for you day by day, where we're updating the color-coded spreadsheet, then you can go over to patreon.com. It's $15 a month to be accessing this spreadsheet, and you'll have the inside information. There's a ton more information in this sheet that I'll explain to you when you get there. So that's it for the prognosis. I want to make this part of the live stream short and the same every day so that we are covering the same information in 15 minutes. How did I do for time? 9 minutes, not bad, because there's not much information to go over. What we'll do in the future streams is to look at what is going on with the relative strength index. So I like to see any kind of divergence at all right now where we could have a double bottom in ADA. Everything else has faded to new lows and this hasn't. So this is up in my hot list right away. And to see that we have a little divergence in the RSI on the 4-hour time frame this way is also good to be watching. Then we'll go on to the next indicator and we'll take a look at the on-balance volume to see where is the dumping going on. We have heavy dumping here at this and less dumping here. So the bears are running out of steam as it's getting here. If Bitcoin takes off, this is going to bleed. It's just going to have a huge dump going down. And it may be a good idea to have some buy orders way down below, like half the price, and salt out a few buy orders to get ready for those capitulations that could spike down 60, 70, 100% down from where it is now, like half the price. There may be a good idea to put a few orders out there on all these markets that crazy down. And I don't do that kind of trade because you never know how much further down it's going to go. I'm waiting for the bottom to turn around. And I want these indicators to tell me and confirm it. Like this kind of thing. I like this. I want to see the RSI, the MACD indicator, doing a divergence on the same time as the RSI while we're making a double bottom. And if we zoom in on this and I circle just this last little bit of action here, that is holding its own. And if this histogram stays positive, we could build some structure right in here. This is the only potential place there is to build a bottom. So I really zoom in and watch it close. And then I want to verify by going into the 4-hour time frame on the Ichimoku cloud. And it's not verifying a buy signal at all here. In the 1-hour time frame, it's not. On the 5-minute time, 15-minute time frame, it's still a sell signal right all the way along here. Sell, sell, sell. No buy signals in this at all. So all of our alts have some real work to do before they are going to pick up off these bottoms. There are a selective bunch of them that we are monitoring. We have a list of them that we believe are going to be taking off first, and we'll be getting prepared with those. But for the main part here, we'll just keep going through these main 6 that you can margin trade over on BitMEX. Because right now I have margin longs that I'm holding at 10 times margin long, doing great. They're up 90% from the entry. And I'm not closing them. And the reason I'm not closing them is because I'm waiting for my top formation and the 1-hour time frame exponential moving average to cross to get out of this trade. So we saw you the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation right here. There's a clear entry at 10 times long. There was no need to do anything after it just immediately proved me correct. And I could move my stop above my entry and sit on it. Now I'm waiting. It did all this moving around and I didn't want to do anything because the exponential moving average hasn't crossed over. Once this does make the 1, 2, 3 top formation and it breaks down below these levels, my exponential moving average will cross over and it'll filter me out. I'll get out of that trade. But until then, I'm staying in for the longer term. And once this all matures and gets a little bit more meat behind it, I'll probably ignore the 1-hour time frame crossover and stay in for the 4-hour exponential moving average crossover, which really keeps you in for much greater moves. Now, over to the chat and see what's going on, because that covers. And I want to do the same bit at the beginning. Then I can go over to whatever you guys want to talk about, because this is where the good stuff comes up. This is where I start learning things. This is where you get to get your questions answered rather than just have me go on and on. So, Trator Rituto, great to have you along again. I have trouble with your name every time. I recognize it when I read it. The Pothead, yours is easier to say. Khan, good to have you along as well. Dean H. Hey, I like that fire symbol. That's nice. Very good. BTC, or LTC, little dyslexic there. LTC, let's go over to a longer chart pattern. Isn't that awful? And this is our capitulation low pattern that we're watching for. And then here's another one that was potential. Here's a capitulation low and the bounce up afterwards and the consolidation. So then we got to wait for the breakout of that pattern, put on a little wee position. If it proves us correct, we can put our stop loss above it and wait for the consolidation at a higher level to really put the nitro on, because that's when we have our parallel channel and it's showing us that yes, indeed, we have changed direction and we are rocking. However, this was really good for exactly the opposite, where I wasn't, and I am now, prepared to do shorts. I am prepared to do that, but I'm not going to do them because we're at historical lows. So even if it's going down and it's giving me a short sell signal, I'm not jumping in on a short now. Like I would not jump in on a buy signal after it's gone up so many stages. I'm not buying higher and trying to sell higher. I am looking to buy low and sell high. Like we did back here, we did a fantastic trade on Litecoin as this went up. Now, if I go into the one daily and the weekly, we're still not dead according to the old historical prices. But I do want to reflect on the fact that back here, Litecoin looked dead. It looked completely killed. But there is a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation inside this little 2-week period. 2-week period. This is what we just said. It's going to take for those exponential moving averages to cross on the 4-hour time frame. It's going to take 2 more weeks for that to mature now. And then we could absolutely see it go to the moon from here. What year was this? 2017, March 2017. So what we saw in March of 2017 that's super significant is that Bitcoin made its run up and everything got crushed. Then it really came back. And at that time, when it came back, everything flipped and all of the alts started to go up with Bitcoin at the same time. We know what's happening in the world economy. We know that these altcoins are great technology and that they are the real money, right? And there is a limited supply of it. I am kind of a conspiracy theorist that it's partly the big guys knowing how to trade and how to push the market down, and it's partly to do with everybody getting freaked out. But there will be this time. So let's watch for now, say that we're in this period right now with Bitcoin, that we are going to have this run up in Bitcoin right now. It's going to come back to retest historical highs. It'll be up to 18K, 20K, and then we're going to get a big pullback to 12K again, and we're going to retest that 12.5 level. At that time, all of the alts are going to flip, and it's going to be heyday for us that are bag holders. We're going to finally get our up to zero back all of our altcoins. But this time, I think it's going to be that 2.5-year trend. Well, we're running out of time. It's going to be a 1-year trend because I think it'll end. It'll start now. We'll get a little bit of it before December, and then it's going to run through the next year, and it'll peak in November or December of 2020. Just before tax time, just as you are set up to pay the worst taxes for it, then the price is going to top and everything's going to come down. Everybody's going to have to sell out of their stuff to pay their taxes. Prices will come down more. You know the story. So, Litecoin. Yep, coming down just the same as before, a little bit steeper. It's being pushed down. There's a few factors pushing it down. But the reality is this is silver compared to gold, and it is a valuable, proven blockchain technology that has been upgraded and upgraded as Bitcoin gets upgraded. Litecoin's made on the same stuff. They just take that content and port it across, and they put it into Litecoin. So Litecoin's going to have all of the benefits of Bitcoin, and it's got a faster throughput for transactions. I believe in them all. Let me go back to the chat. So let's look back at Bitcoin dominance. Where's my mute? So Bitcoin dominance, we can see it in its uptrend. And because it's in the trend and in the middle of this parallel channel, it's safe, and I believe it's going to continue going. And I think it's going to go in a route. Let me go to a 1-year time frame, see if this gives me the perspective I want. No, I have to go to, okay, there we go, good. Yeah, okay, we do have a couple examples from the past where it just blasts off. It'll be the opposite of the altcoin capitulations, where it's going to spike, it's going to really drop back, and then it's going to do this. It'll be exactly the opposite, and the altcoins will be doing the same thing but upside down. This is the one that I can flip. Invert the scale. This is what the altcoins will be doing. They are all doing this right now. They will do this capitulation and consolidation, and this is where we are watching for this kind of turnaround. So we'll see dominance make a formation, and as it breaks that formation, this is when the alts are going to be taking off. So I put that back to the proper forward scale. Oh, the magic of live. And what is dominance? Hey, AOL Chandra, good to have you along. I want to give a high five out to AOL Chandra, who has been helping me with the spreadsheet and going through and updating everything on Binance every single day. So she goes through all of the markets on Binance and updates the spreadsheet. Then I go through all of the markets on Binance and review them. We chat back and forth. It's turned into a fantastic way for me to nail down a little bit more of how I explain things. And it's just amazing to watch how she is nailing it on all of these chart patterns. And now we're going over the chart patterns and we're not going over actual trading. We're just measuring against the trading system and learning how to see how the charts are telling us that trading system. When you average it over 150 markets and you're looking at them every single day, man, this gets awesome. When these do take off, we are going to be in the position to know exactly when to ease in, how to diversify our portfolio, and exactly when to ease back out of that portfolio. That chart, that spreadsheet is phenomenal. There's Litecoin. Let's zoom back into Bitcoin right now, because I'm expecting noise in this right away. Like I expect it to be taking off here. So the alts, before they take off, it could be, it's hard to say when, and I don't know when. This is the one thing I try to take out of my trading is time, because when I put the money into trading, it is gone for the rest of my life. It is in there to trade and to grow. Every once in a while, there's an egg that comes out of that golden egg that the goose lays, and you get some profit you can take out. But essentially, the idea is, once money goes into this, it is there for the rest of my life. It's there working for me. These are my workers now. And I want to grow them and grow them and grow them. I don't want to ever think of taking them out. So then, since I take time out of the money's just there to work for me, and whenever it comes up, the work happens. And I just stay ready for the patterns. And not try to think about when the money's going to come in. I'm there for when it moves, then I'm there. So we had to wait a long time to get a good buy signal this last while. A lot of chop, a lot of chop, a lot of chop, a lot of trying. It didn't work. Trying, didn't work. Trying, didn't work. Trying. Oh, it worked. Boom. Now that it worked, we're going through that strategy of unfolding the trade as it goes. And so how long will the alts be? I don't know, but I will be continuing to watch and will just be there when they are. I use the analogy of being ready to bat the ball when you're sitting and you got the bat above your shoulder and there's a ball pitching machine out on the mound and it's running. And it'll randomly drop a ball in there and shoot it towards you, and you have to bat that whenever, randomly, and you don't know when it's coming. You have to stay ready constantly, 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 and then when the ball is fired, you're ready for it, and you've got the strategy prepared. So this is what I'm working with right now over on the website, is putting together a 3 weeks to mastery course, which gets you prepared. It goes through all of the steps and starts getting you into the habits, the daily habits of it. And then you're going to make some progress with it. But you know what? I know that 90% of the people who are watching this will probably not take action on it. I'm actually stunned by the opportunity that's in front of us with Bitcoin and altcoins and our ability to trade gold, silver, and platinum as well using Bitcoin. There are more opportunities for us than there ever were in any generation before us. Right now, we have the most chance of becoming wealthy just from our intelligence, just from our timing, just from our practicing this skill of reading chart patterns than any generation, anybody that's ever lived on human earth before. It's crazy. But you know what? Watching these videos isn't going to help you a lot in your trading. You may feel good, you may feel like you've learned something today, and I hope you have, and hope you subscribe and you come back and you start to make this a habit. But watching yoga is not going to make you strong and flexible. You have to actually do it. So I'm happy to have you along for these videos, but you already have all the information you need to start executing these plans. How many of you have gone to the website, put your email address in to get that entire trading plan? And even fewer of you who get that trading plan are going to go through the whole thing and make notes on it. And yet fewer of you again are going to make the habit of doing this every day. And you are already spending 30 minutes a day watching the charts. You are already have the concentration. You already have the desire. The one thing you're missing is the belief in your trading system that lets you be able to put on a trade and then sit and let those profits roll in. And the reason that you can't do it, there's the same reason that I couldn't do it when I first started trading. It took me a lot of work before I got to where I could be successful at trading, even though I had the trading plan. Even though I knew the trading plan, I couldn't successfully trade it. And the reason is because of how I felt about money. I felt angry. I felt resentful. I felt lack. And it wasn't until I changed the way I thought and felt about money that I could change the way I was trading. And they all worked together, where I started micro trading with very little bits of money. And I was able to leave that there because it was Bitcoin and not actual money. And I kept growing it and growing it. And I built those habits of making my money work for me until now. I'm happy to let it sit there and work for me. I have no problem waiting for my trading system to do its thing because I really believe in it. And so when I get a good signal, I'm able to take that confidently without thinking about it, put the trade on. I can build my position properly because I've practiced it like crazy, like an airplane pilot practicing over and over and over. Or maybe a brain surgeon who's going into a delicate surgery. They're not going to stop and say, oh, I wonder what I do next, and look through a manual. No, they've practiced everything by hand. They've practiced everything over and over and over and over again. So they know exactly what to do every step of the way. If something comes up, they know exactly what to do reflexively. So if the wind blows a pilot's plane sideways, he doesn't think about correcting. It's automatic. You just turn the plane as it's happening. It's practiced so often. So it's the same thing with this trading and doing these live streams and teaching the course. It's really helped me become methodical, practiced, and it's phenomenal to watch it work. So I know that a lot of you who are watching right now, if you've made it all the way this through, in 3 years' time, you're gonna look back and you will have done nothing with these 1, 2, 3 bottom formations. You will look back, you will see them in the charts, and you will regret it. As I have before, back in 2010, I saw corn prices making a phenomenal 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, and I couldn't trade it. By 2011, 2012, I saw the thousands and thousands of dollars I could have made. It was really, really frustrating. It was really motivating, actually, to dig in deep and study this stuff more. So the opportunity we have with alts and with Bitcoin to micro trade is just crazy phenomenal. So I hope my little rant there helps somebody who's watching this. That's right. You don't need to pay for the course. I give you everything you need for free, but I could give you all your yoga classes for free too. And most people won't do them. I love yoga, but I'm not going to do it here in my apartment. I'm just not going to take the time to make myself do that. But if I'm in a classroom setting, then I do it. Then I practice it. And because I paid for the class, I'm going to the class. And I get so much benefit out of it when I go to the class that I could do it here by myself at home, but I never do. I never make myself do it. When I'm in a classroom setting, it's amazing how much better I learn and how much more I do. So there's pros and cons to it. That's why I give it away for free, so that I can help you. It helps me by going through this stuff. I get better at teaching. I improve my course. And for the people who are serious about this, and they're not going to let this opportunity slip by, and they're going to do the work necessary They're going to become an airplane pilot. They're going to go to school for 3 years, and they know however long a airplane pilot is, you know, or how long does it take you to get your black belt in karate? Many people come into trading and they want to jump straight into the black belt stuff, right into day trading, and you just get smoked. It's killer. You got to really know what you're doing, and it's got to be fast and reflexive. But most people don't know how to go from white belt and to yellow belt and green belt and up all the way up the scale in trading skill. So this is what I put the course together for people who are really serious about the opportunity and they're not going to let it slip away. You can join together with other people, jump in a class, make yourself learn it. Boom. Now, what other alts? Do you have any specific alts you want us to go through? If I go over to Binance and take a look at what's going on with the high volume coins, it's all down, 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 down. All the highest volume coins are just getting their ass kicked. Matic is actually a great chart pattern. Filter by BTC, scroll down to Matic. Matic. Okay, it's a good chart pattern, but it hasn't broken out yet. It's a beautiful setting up to be a... Actually, this is looking like the capitulation pattern I've been hunting for. So we get this drop off, like a parabolic move down, then the bounce and the consolidation. This is really built up nicely. And I know that if we go into... start looking at the indicators, we can see that the RSI is supporting a bottom. We do have some support in this RSI. So this is one of the coins that is actually on our front list of potentials. It's not the top, because the top ones all have specific bottom formations that survived June 26th. They survived, what's the date there? The July 10th. They survived August the 6th, 7th, 8th, and they kept bottoms that stayed higher, where most of the altcoins went lower and lower. Even though we have lower and lower highs on Bitcoin, the alts went down and down and down compared to Bitcoin. All right, we see we got a new subscriber just joined up to get that free guide over on IntroToCryptos. What is that, 10% of the people who are watching the stream so far? Free training. Go grab it. Let's look at XLM, which is a terrible one. Man, I had such high hopes for XLM. And without this trading plan to know exactly when to get out, you turn into a bag holder. And how much does that cost you? How much did it cost me? Never mind. Because if I go to the 1 year view of this pathetic downtrend, it should have been a road to riches, not a pathetic downtrend. I was blinded by this massive triangle formation where all of the other alts were going down. This was holding higher lows all the way along. And as it broke out of here, I was like in love. And of course, you're blind when you're in love. And even this exponential moving average crossover didn't make me lose my love for this coin. So the more lessons that we get, the more it changes your behavior in the future. And any of these exponential moving average crossovers on the 12-hour time frame, I am out. Okay, we got Steven also just joined up to get that free training. Good to see. This was killer. This was killer all the way down. And there's nothing doing in this. Like there's just hold up. You got to hold your breath now if you're this far underwater. And who knows what the future is? It could go sideways for months. There's just no way to know. So these exits here are, in hindsight, so important. And as we're hunting for 1, 2, 3 bottom formations, I emphasize all the time that they fail 6 times out of 10 because we're hunting for the trend reversal. That means we're going against the trend, and the trend is your friend. There has to be a point there that when the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation fails, I have a new name for it now, thanks to the Crypto Sniper, the Australian guy who's just phenomenal. Great. If you go and search for the Crypto Sniper, he's great to watch as well. Anyway, he calls this the pissing off the roof formation. And I noticed that when he was talking about copper prices, and they made a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, and then they broke lower. They broke that formation, and he called it the pissing off the roof formation. I said, hey, I've seen that so many times in the alts this past year and a half. I'm adopting his word, his chart pattern. So when will we see the pissing off the roof formation in Bitcoin? I don't know. It's going to be a while for Bitcoin. I think it's going to be staging and going higher. And I'm just waiting for that to, let's see, go Bitcoin. Let me draw out what I imagine. And working its way up more slowly. And this is the point when the alts, and I don't know when the time frame is, but all the way up to retouching these levels and then a hard hammer back, maybe only back to these levels. And at that point, this is when the Bitcoin dominance will change. This is when the alts will change, and the entire industry will be going up at the same time. This is my prediction. This is what I'm watching for. And I'm long Bitcoin right now. I do have one account that is full of my altcoins that is just sitting there. It will continue sitting there. And no matter how far down they go, I'll just keep holding them. And then I have a strategy for as this starts to turn around, there's going to be popcorn moves of things going up and then pulling back, going up and pulling back. And I've got the strategy for this wave strategy coming up as that unfolds. Now let's go back to the chat. XLM, not looking good. Shill ahead, ENJ coin looks great. Its wallet is integrated with the latest Samsung phones. I'll check that out. But let's go look at Zen and Ethereum Classic, which was doing some surprise stuff, actually. Ethereum Classic, because our spreadsheet goes through every single coin every single day. ETH. I'm not much of one for Ethereum Classic overall. But when it made a bottom formation here earlier, it signaled us, as it did all the way along. So as it made a bottom formation here, we did get a bit of a weak signal here, and we're out of it right away from rule number 1. We had the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. We had a signal here, and then we had to get kicked out of it. It would have been with our stop loss just above our entry level, kicked out again. Then it made a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation on the 4-hour time frame. We were able to get in on that one, put our stop loss up above, and then there's nothing to do until the 4-hour exponential moving average crosses over. So when this came down and crossed over, that is an exit, and then this is a re-enter signal in this coin. So it's kind of fuzzy right now, but as it's consolidating right here, it actually matches our 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, and you just got to do it. You just got to do it. You put on a small bit of your trade, knowing that if you're correct, you'll add on to it later. Put on a small bit of your trade because we're in a downtrend, and it's likely that we're going to continue the downtrend. So you don't want to put in all of your money and lose a bunch. Put in a small bit, like dipping your toe in the water to see if it's good. When the water is good, you can jump right in. So Ethereum Classic is a unique chart from pretty much the whole crew, except that it doesn't fall into our favorite category. It's got lower lows as Bitcoin was doing its lower highs. And I want to see that it's holding steady higher lows as Bitcoin is doing its lower highs. And there are a few of them. Zen, let's go down to Zen coin. Okay, Zen was looking pretty good, but then it pissing off the roof formation again. Here's that failed bottom formation where it looked potentially good. It was setting up for such a long time there, long enough for the exponential moving average to cross over, kind of made a 1, 2, 3 formation, maybe even could have got you in there on that little spike, but then down it goes. So you got to have a small enough position that you can take your loss right away and not let it worry you. If you put on too big of a position, damn, it's hard to take that loss. And then you're up holding the bag and you've got a bigger loss. And really, if you had taken that loss and got into Bitcoin at this moment, you'd be ahead of the game. So the process of taking a loss is key in the game, because we are going to take losses more often than profits. We're going to be wrong more often than right, especially if you're trading a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation and we're in a downtrend. This takes a persistence to be there for the right moment, be there for the right moment, be there for the right moment, and just keep doing it until it is the right moment, and then it makes everything else up for it. Just got to also believe in the technology that it actually is going to come back from where we are. So ENJ, let's go take a quick look at ENJ, and then I'll look at NEO, and ENJ. Look at this. That's like candy. So we've got the exponential moving average crossover on the 12-hour time frame. We have the break of the downtrend line, and we have a 1, 2, 3 and a larger 1, 2, 3 building into a larger 1, 2, 3 pattern. So we have all of these nested 1, 2, 3s. We have a beautiful increasing volume pattern going on underneath this. And I know that if you go back to March of 2017 and you were able to zoom into this time frame, all of this was all setting up at the same time. The same way, just like this. This is a beautiful example. So it's also great to know that its wallet is being integrated into the latest Samsung phones, which I have no idea why that is important, but if it's getting integrated into all of the phones, this is the kind of mass adoption step where something that is already across all of the masses puts in an application, and boom, the masses have access to cryptocurrencies. This is when we're going to go through the point of inflection. We're going to go past parabolic in all of these coins. This is the parabola. That's a parabolic move. We could have the parabolic move and then the point of inflection followed by the anti-parabola. So from here, it's like straight, like a wheel with our spokes. And from here, it's straight line wheels, like our wheels from a spoke. So as we're going through this point here, this is what I call the point of inflection. We're going straight up insane amounts as the masses are. So if you could track the sales of iPhones, it would be the same way. They started off and everybody's loving them, and pretty soon everybody is buying them all at the same time. They just sweeping across the world, these smartphones, maybe not just iPhone. And then it's petering off where everybody's still buying them, but the market's pretty much saturated and everybody's involved. We are here. We are here. And I think that we're going to be well rewarded for those of us who know this plan, so that we're going to be there for all of these kind of making this kind of money. I think we made 308% off of this trade alert back in December when this took off. And by now, I don't have to point it out to you. You're already seeing these 1, 2, 3 formations. And now it's just a matter of practicing them and being there so that you can make that money when it's available and know exactly when to get out of this trade. So we're on the 12-hour. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame and pull this back. Look at how accurate this 4-hour exponential moving average is for the exit after that 1 hour, after that big top formation. Waits for all the noise and then go, oh, I'll get out. A lot less work this way. The money's working for you. What a great chart. Beautiful. I'm glad you brought that one up. Now, NEO, and then I'm going to sign off. And partly because Mother Nature's calling, but also yoga's coming up. NEO is nothing doing, pissing off the roof formation big time. And I hate it, but there's the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, fake out, breakout. Oh my goodness, there it is. There's the 1, 2, 3 breakout. So you got to use rule number 2. That is, you get in with a small bit of your position, and then you have to use rule number 1, which is you only hold it if it proves you correct. Those two things are going to keep your losses small and keep you active and keep you only active at this moment. And then there's a whole bunch of nothing to do. This was building up. Did it do a 1, 2, 3, 4? No, it never gave us a signal to act on. This could have faked us in a couple different times, but if you're using the exponential moving average as a filter on the 12-hour time frame, then we probably didn't get killed too much in this. It filtered us in and out. So when it goes sideways for a long time, then we've got to go to the 1-day exponential moving average to tell us, should we get in or not? If it's jumping back and forth in the 12-hour, we've got to step back. And I expect that as the alts do bottom formations, we'll see a lot of that next time coming up. So after all of this, it's all bad news for the alts. Nothing good going on. Leverage tradings to the long on Bitcoin right now is the flavor of the month. And that will hold until our Bitcoin dominance starts to change directions. Right now, as this is going up and accelerating, I would say Bitcoin is the only game in town. The whole industry treats it as altcoin versus Bitcoin. That's it. So you're either holding Bitcoin or you've got a range of different diversified alts that you're holding. And right now it's saying April 1st, sell all of your altcoins and be all full into Bitcoin. Even now, it looks like Bitcoin is the name of the game. Hey, RC, thanks for being along for this live stream. Be sure to thumbs up, subscribe, add it to your playlists, share it on your social media, share it on a Discord chat if you think this is worthwhile. We do that on our Discord chat. If there's any other good channels, we share it there. This is where we want to learn. We want to make money. This is the opportunity of a lifetime. Let us not let it slip by. That's it for this time. Let's talk to you soon on the next live stream. Yo, yo, yo. Cheers. Bye for now.